Hey, it's Emily with Mason Realty Group from Keller Williams Realty Integrity Lakes, and I am back with Troy from Rock Solid Home Inspections, and today we are talking about electrical, and we are out in the garage at the source of it all, the electrical box. So I'm going to hand it over to Troy.
Thanks, Emily. So the electrical box panel, really what we want to do is get in and really make sure that the overall safety of the house is going to be there. This is something that's not usually done, is not usually gone through by the homeowner, so it's really important in your home inspection to have the inspector look through this main panel. Really what we're doing here is we're going to take off the dead front cover, which is this main panel. We're going to actually see the inside of the panel. We're going to evaluate the overall safety of it. One example is wire sizes to the amperage to the breakers. There also we're going to be looking for is, as you can see right here, Emily has done some work here recently, and it's all been state approved as well, which is really important because we have noticed some improvements on the inside of the house. So it's telling you this work has been done by a professional, which is really good. So, and then we put the dead front cover back onto it for overall safety. So we're going to talk about additional electrical when we get inside. We're going to talk about GFCIs, where they're required, arc fault protection, just kind of what we're doing during the home inspection. We're testing every outlet that's accessible, and we're just kind of checking for overall safety.
Perfect. So, wonderful. Well,
yes.
Let's head inside. All right, so we are inside now talking about the electrical continuation. We talked about the box outside in the garage. So I'm going to, again, hand it over to Troy, talk about what he looks for during the home inspection when he comes inside the house from an electrical point of view.
Thank you, Emily. So yes, for electrical, when we get into the inside, what we really want to do is focus on the safety of the electrical. So that is basically touching base on GFCIs. Any kind of water source, we need to have GFCIs around. We're just going to generally speak with it. Once we get into our bedrooms, we want to see arc fault protection as well into the newer houses. And we're also actually going through all the outlets. We're plugging in our outlet tester into them to making sure that we don't have any open grounds, any reverse polarities, any kind of safety concerns that are just really undetectable by just everyday use kind of a situation.
Or outlets that just don't even work.
Yes, exactly. Or that are switched as well. That's another good one, because there's nothing better to understand, if, for example, if your dishwasher is on a switch and you can't figure out how to work your dishwasher, well, your inspector identified that it's on a switch.
Yeah.
That's the reason why it's not
That's
working.
That's helpful when you move into the home. So
yes.
So you're not trying to call somebody to come fix it. You just notice, flip the switch.
Yep, absolutely. The other things that we're doing in electrical is we're turning on all the lights within the house as well as we're leaving those on the whole time of the inspection. What we want to do is load up the house as much as possible. So then we can see any kind of hot outlets or switches. Dimmer switches are famous for overheating.
Sure.
So that are a safety concern as well. And that's kind of generally into our safety that we want to approach. We're also trying to identify switches. Every house has a switch that we don't know what it does. So what we're trying to do is answer those questions so we don't have to answer that down the road.
Yeah.
So.
This one, I can say, this one had a few. We were very confused about a number of them. And it took us a while to figure out, after
Absolutely.
they were identified in the inspection, and it still took us a while to figure out what exactly they did. So,
yep. Absolutely. We'll talk about efficiencies as well, changing out your light bulbs to LED and what that does for things. And just kind of options of changing out your light bulbs. There's so many different options out there for changing out your can lights to LEDs,
sure.
Which is phenomenal, updating your kitchen for a little amount of money. So.
Speaking of light bulbs, we encounter a situation every now and again during a home inspection where we flip a switch and we feel like it belongs to that light, but we're not sure, nothing happens. We think it may be a dead bulb. What do we do in that instance?
Yes, that's a really good point. So all we can do is call it out. So what we do at Rock Solid Home Inspections is we actually check for power. And then that kind of eliminates if there's power to it or not. And at that point, we have to put in the report that it was not responding to a switch. We think it's a bulb that is out, but still to move forward. If we change out the bulb and it's still not working, then we need a licensed electrician. So, yep.
Wonderful.
That is really good questions. I love it.
We see a lot of that stuff. So, again, with our home inspections and whatnot, it's not scary stuff. It's done to educate you as the home buyer. It's for your information and for your knowledge when you're buying the home. It's all good stuff. I know when we had this home inspected, there were a lot of things going on. It was built in 1964, so it was by no means perfect. But just having that knowledge and having that understanding of how to manage things moving forward gave us a lot of peace of mind. So.
Emily, that's right on. So the biggest thing is you get out of a home inspection is the education portion of it, and understanding the house. So absolutely. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Troy.
Absolutely.
And we will see you next week with another installment of Thirsty Thursday. Likely back with Troy again, because we're just having so much fun walking through the home and finding, good things, bad things, and different things, but things nonetheless that are interesting to talk about. So we will see you next week.